Hey guys, welcome back to Magic TV. My name's Craig. This is Matt. Welcome to the Matt-umentary. Are you cold? You cold?
No one.
Just like huddling for warmth.
Oh no, I'm not looking for warmth.
Okay. You okay?
I'm good.
Have a good day?
I was actually concerned for a second then, which is weird, isn't it?
I don't want you to die until after New Year's Eve. Actually, no, I don't want you to die until after the bear pit's finished.
Oh yeah.
And then you will die. In a literal and metaphorical sense.
Yes, I agree.
No, in all seriousness, how you doing? You okay?
You well?
You
I'm
well?
good.
Good.
You?
Yeah, I'm a box of fluffy ducks, man. I'm fine. Now, you have spent the last week working in the balloon swallow. Because obviously McDonald's and garages and places like that aren't too happy with having the balloon swallow done there. Who knew?
No. You were like, it'd be fine. They're not going to care.
I filmed
Just go to McDonald's.
I filmed loads of times in McDonald's.
And then we get there, and I walk in, straight into McDonald's, sit down. As soon as he takes out the camera and I pull out the blow-uppery thing, fucking job's worth. What are we doing? I was just filming a video for YouTube. It's going on the internet. Yeah.
Love the fact that you got kicked out of McDonald's.
Got kicked out of McDonald's, and then we went to the garage. And the guys at the garage, they've just taken over. So if it was the guys at the garage that were there a month ago, they'd have been fine with it.
Yeah.
But they're new people that have just taken over there. So we walk in, the guy, English isn't his first language. So we've gone over, and I've gone, hey dude, and he went, hey. And I was like, can we do some magic for you? And he just looked at me blankly. So then I'm like, we're magicians. And he's like, okay, cool, magic. And I was like, yeah, magic. I was like, can we do some? And he was like, yeah. And I went, we film? He went, no. Didn't
He was just pointed at the door, just like, out.
Out. And I was like,
hilarious.
oh.
That's hilarious.
So, yeah.
But, so... How have you've done it in a couple of family shows now that you've been to? How have they gone?
Done it in a couple of deluxe shows. It's good, actually. A couple of kids get freaked out by it, but it's like, yeah, it works really well. That's one of the ones where the parents come over to you afterwards and go, how did you do that?
Yeah.
It's one of them.
I mean, some people say you shouldn't do it in a kids show because obviously it's encouraging...
it's not health and safety conscious, is it, that show?
But you know, I mean, when you've been doing it in the context of an illusion show for kids, because the deluxe package that we offer is like an illusion show.
It is
so
an illusion. It's not a normal children's
It's not
party.
a normal kids party by any stretch of the matter. It's more of a family show. There's family in the audience and so on and so forth. And when there's anything like that, we clear it with the client beforehand.
Well, I was saying to Kat, actually, because I was like, I've got to go and do this sword swallow thing. Not sword swallow, balloon swallow. But then at the end of the party, I'm going to give every child a balloon sword to do...
Yeah,
to do the Pirates of the Caribbean thing. So, like, what happens if they all just start trying to swallow the fucking swords? And Kat was like, that'd be fine.
Well, I mean,
it didn't happen, to be honest.
No, it's simply a case of, you know, kids are more intelligent than you'd think, and you've been performing for older kids as well. They realise it's an illusion, and it's like, you know, don't try this at home. I'm a trained professional idiot, all that sort of stuff.
The little ones can't get the balloons in their mouths anyway.
No.
And the bigger ones should know better.
Yeah. But it went well. People liked it.
Yeah.
So would you feel it as an opener to your Bear Pit act?
I don't know.
Because I think it could work. I think we're definitely going with the cups and balls. That's happening.
Wonderful.
We're definitely going to go with the world's most dangerous card trick, which we'll be picking up on next week.
I can't give any kind of feedback on that because I've never even seen it. So
no, I know you haven't, but we're definitely going with it. Well, it is what it is. You reach into a bear trap and you pull out a card. But it's great. It's fine. Honestly, I know you've come to terms with it now, so it's not a problem.
No, I haven't, because I've got no idea how it works or what I've got to do.
Well, it's no more dangerous than the blade swallow that you...
Which was very fucking dangerous. I sliced the inside of my mouth open, I could have died.
Really?
If I'd have swallowed that blade that got stuck on the inside of my mouth, I would have died.
But actually you didn't, and it was because of that...
No, I didn't, but I could have very easily.
Yeah. No pain, no gain.
Yeah, so it is dangerous.
You want to be the best.
So saying, oh, this trick it's only as dangerous as the blades, Which I could have died doing.
But you didn't die. And you've done it since, and you've not died. You're fine. The thing is, if you want to do things, if you want to be in a position where nobody else is, you have to do things that nobody else is prepared to do. Life is not going to hand you everything on a silver platter. You have to go out and you have to earn it and you have to make it happen. You are in a situation where you, having been in magic for a year, let's just be clear, a year ago, it was a year, not really, because if you remember, we started the Matt-umentary in December. It's not even December yet. Last December, we were putting videos out.
Is that true?
Last December, we were putting videos out. Because
It
if you
started
remember,
in December.
well, no, it started just before it, but you started performing properly. Don't you remember?
It's only been a year.
I took you to Smoke and Mirrors and you were doing Christmas parties. Everybody was in Christmas jumpers. And that was the first time that you'd ever really performed to real people in a real situation outside of Tam next door and stuff. And that was knee deep in the middle of Christmas parties in December last year.
So it's not even been a year.
No.
This has been the longest year of my fucking life.
But that's the point that I want to tell you, and you need to understand. A year ago...
Somebody said to me the other day, oh, you've only been performing magic for 18 months. And I was like...
Yeah, it's only a year.
But it's not even that.
No. And the thing is, you need to understand, a year ago, you were just like... You didn't know hardly anything. I mean, you still barely
don't.
Yeah. But you'd not really gone out
I thought I'd get in there before you did.
You'd never really performed professionally. You didn't really know anything.
Not
you didn't
magic.
Not magic. A year later... I mean, how many gigs you've got in December? Your calendar looks ridiculous.
I haven't even wanted to count.
No, and that's the point. Like, it's...
My next day off's like
Christmas Eve. There are people that are watching this that wish they had the amount of gigs that you did. There's people that are watching this.
Oh yeah, I totally get that.
That can't believe that in a year you're in a situation where you've become one of the busiest working pros in the country. People are watching this that are like, hang on, he's been in magic a year just about, and he's performing at the Bear Pit at Blackpool, and he's also headlining at the, well, not headlining, Ryland's there, he's also performing at the House of Secrets. I mean, what the actual living fuck? Sometimes you need to step back and realise what you've accomplished. But in order to get those opportunities, you need to be able to do stuff that nobody else is doing. You know, people say to me, how do you get ahead in magic? How do you get more gigs? How do you become successful? How do you do that? You got to be prepared to do stuff that nobody else is prepared to do. Like, you know,
I don't think there's many people that are being kicked out of McDonald's for trying to swallow a fucking balloon.
Exactly. You're doing it. I mean, people say to me all the time, come on, how many times have you heard people say at the convention, Craig's lucky. No, you make your own fucking luck in this world. It's as simple as that. Like, how hard do I work? I mean, no, joking aside, how hard do I work?
Yeah, when you're awake, you work pretty hard.
No, seriously. Seriously, I don't think there's anybody that works as hard as me at this. I'm always at it. Look at the one-to-one days that I do. Look at everything. You know, you got to do that. You want to get ahead, you got to do that. So you're in a very privileged position. I guarantee you, half the people at Blackpool would love to be in the Bear Pit, having it handed to them, would love to be performing at the House of Secrets, would love to have even close to the amount of gigs that you're having. And you got to work for it now. You got to prove that is a position that you're entitled to. Dude. Yeah, you got to carry on work. Look, you got to do more than just pull out an Amverdi die and spend 25 minutes blabbering on about bullshit.
Apparently you don't.
Yes, you
apparently you can get along just fine doing that.
No, you fucking can't. Stop it. Right. So we're going to play some footage now of the London Magic Convention, because this is being filmed after we went to the London Magic Convention, and I told you that I was going to have you sit down and chat to a couple of people while I was there.
Yep.
The first thing we're going to look at is we're going to look at an informal chat that you had with Mark Chandaue.
Lovely bloke.
Yeah, amazing bloke. He's just brought out a new book.
He has.
On, ironically, how to build a mentalism show.
Yeah.
How to create a character as a mentalist.
Yeah.
How to perform. All of the stuff that you're kind of wrestling with at the moment.
Yeah.
That's the thing. And so
He's basically written me a book.
Yeah, he has. He's written a book for you, yeah. And it's sitting on your desk.
It is. It's in there.
You're reading it constantly. And he gave you a copy of the book, which was really nice of him.
It was really nice of him.
So you sat down and chatted with him at the London Magic Convention. You chatted with him a little bit more than this, but this is the bit that I recorded. And I'm going to play this now, and then we're going to come back into this, and I want to know genuinely, I know we mess and joke around on these Matt-umentries, but I want to know what Mark said to you that kind of helps you, because I know you're kind of going back and forth with so many ideas at the moment.
Yeah.
Richard suggested that I do this, this person suggested I do this person suggested I do this, and you've got all these different options in front of you. Oh my God, what am I going to do? It's the same issues that a lot of people have when they're building a show. So let's have a look at this footage and then we'll talk about the impact that Mark had on you.
Mark, pleasure to meet you, dude, again. Your new book just come out, and apparently there's some stuff in here that might help me.
Yeah.
So I thought, while we've got a bit of a lull from the masses at the London Magic Convention, that you could just go through a little bit with me. And you know what I'm doing? I've got to do this show at Blackpool, and it's a mentalism show, and this is what you do. So if you've got any advice or anything to give me on building a show, that would be amazing.
Yeah, well, the first thing I'd say, in the book, the 2 chapters that will help you is routine and scripting, which tells you how to structure a routine.
Yeah.
And the important one is building an act.
Yes, which is what I'm currently trying to do.
Because it's not as simple as just put together a string of tricks. There are fundamental principles. Building an act is simple, really, because it boils down to put the act together, go out and perform it, listen to the audience, adjust, go out and perform it, listen to the audience.
Yeah, I can't do that.
Adjust.
I've got one shot at this.
But yeah, so within this chapter, there's a lot of detailed advice. But if we boil it down to simple, fundamental things, first one is, and this is the most important, is make them like you. Now, when we say make them like you can't make somebody like you. So it's about making yourself easy to
Likeable.
like.
Yeah.
Smile, that's the biggie. It's easy to like someone who's smiling. So if you come out with a big frown or looking stressed, it's going to put people on the back foot. If you've got a big smile, you automatically become likeable. Be humble. So
I haven't got a choice in that.
Humility is a likeable trait. Biggie about being likeable is how you treat your participants.
Yeah.
People will judge you if you're taking the mick out of your participants. It's a fine line. Look at someone like John Archer. He can absolutely rip something to pieces and still be likeable. However, if you haven't got that skill, if you start attacking the audience, you start to turn.
You're going to start fighting back.
You start turning against. You've got to remember it. When you bring a person up on stage, he's one of them. So how you treat them is how they see you.
Absolutely. Yeah,
So
that makes sense.
treat people as people, don't treat them as props.
Yeah.
So mentalism is all about that person up on stage, because you can't work without a mind to read.
Yeah.
So how you interact with that person will tell the audience whether or not you're likeable, whether you're a nice guy. So that's the first thing. Second thing is start out believable and work up to unbelievable. Because if you come out and do absolute impossible, people are going to be, it's trickery. People are willing to believe in something like a memory demonstration. They're not necessarily quite so ready to believe in seeing into the future. So you start out giving them something that they can buy into. So you go, oh yeah, this might be real. And then once you've built that credibility, then you hit them between the eyes. So it's start out credible and build up to incredible.
Awesome. Okay, that's good.
The next one is make them laugh. You don't have to be a comedian.
That's good, because I'm not.
But people are there to be entertained. So anywhere you can inject humour into that show will make that show enjoyable. As I say, sometimes you read mentalism books and they say, make it emotional and, teach them a lesson. People don't go to a show to learn a lesson.
They go to be entertained.
They go to have fun.
Yeah.
So keep it fun. And the humour can be situational. So what I tend to do, I'll either take the mick out of myself, or I will create a situation that is inherently funny. So rather than taking the mick out of a spectator, which could turn the audience against me, I will take the mick out of myself, which shows I don't take myself too seriously.
Yeah.
Or I will generate a situation that is naturally funny and play off of that. So make them laugh.
Okay.
Next one is take them with you. So when you're doing a show, as you move into the next routine, you want to give them a reason to keep watching. So just how impossible or impressive the effect is isn't a good enough reason. You want to give them a reason to keep watching. So it's almost like when you're creating an act, you're trying to tell a story and you want people to want to see how that story plays out.
Yeah, which is why people, I guess, put themes to shows and stuff and have continuing things going through the show because people want to get to the end and see what happens.
Absolutely, and
Perfect.
you should have
Okay,
a theme. You don't necessarily have to tell the audience what the theme is, but you need to be aware of it. And that theme could be as simple as, what if mind reading was real?
Yeah.
Or it could be, how could you use mind reading in the real world? You know, so that, and that theme only has to exist in your head. But what it does is it then gives a form of continuity.
It ties everything in together.
And another way of actually taking people with you is something called nesting effects. So where you might set up an effect and then move on to something else. A good example is it may be that you throw out 3 books and say, I want you to open those books and find a word. While you're doing that, we'll move on to something else. And then, so now people are wanting to know what's going to happen with those books. So they've got a reason to keep going.
Yeah.
Or it could be that you bring 3 people up, set them up, send one back saying, I'll come back to you. I'm struggling with you, I'm going to come back to you. You work with these 2, and then later on, you've got somebody already set up, you've already picked their information, or you've already set them up with a force. So now, you can bring them up and bang. Or you can even leave them in the audience and go to them. But meanwhile, people will be thinking, oh, what about that 3rd guy? So they've got that kind of sense of, I want to know what's going to happen.
Yeah,
So take them with you. And the last one, the last principle is surprising. So if you're not careful, mentalism can be, think of a number, it's 26. Think of a word, it's table. You know, so, and also, as you progress through the act and you successfully perform these demonstrations, you then get, from the audience perspective, an expectation of success. So it's almost, you've left yourself nowhere to go.
Yeah.
So, and I've seen, and I've done it myself, very first time I did a lottery prediction, near the end of my act, it fell relatively flat. And I couldn't understand it. I was like, well, this is 13 million to 1 or whatever. Why is nobody impressed? And of course, the reason they're not impressed is by the 3rd number, they were like, oh, it's a lottery. And they expected me to get it right because I've been getting things right through the whole show.
Yeah.
So I changed the structure so they didn't see the lottery effect coming. In fact, I set those 6 numbers up earlier. I did a card memory demonstration. I said the world record for memorising a shuffled deck of cards is a minute dead. I'm going to beat that record. So, but just to keep it fun, how many seconds do you think I'm going to shave off the record? And so now I'm limiting them to fairly low numbers. 5 seconds. Let's record that. He says 5 seconds. What about you? 7 seconds. Okay, how many seconds do you think I'm going to do it in? 45. 56. Basically, by saying the record's a minute dead, I've now limited them to 1 to 59, which is the lottery.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I then do the memory routine, and one of them guessed correctly. So it took me, let's say one of them said 57 seconds. I memorised it in 57 seconds. Give them a big round of applause. Hang on 57 seconds. Those guesses now stay on stage, but they've kind of forgotten about them. It was all about the memory.
Oh, they've been done, and that's, yeah.
I close with a Q&A, and the very last question that somebody picks out of the box is, if you're such a smart ass, what are next week's lottery numbers? And so they read the question. I said, first thing I'm picking up is this question was written by a man. Is that right? I always get a woman to pick the question, and they always agree to that, even though it's got no name on it. But because if you're such a smart boss, they always accept, yeah, this was a man. So I get my first hit. I then say, I also get the impression that this is more of a challenge than an actual question. Would that be right? And again, they agree. So that's 2 hits. Then I get the third hit. I say, I get the impression this person would rather stay anonymous. And of course, there's no name on the billet. So again, I get my third hit, which I like because it cancels out the first hit.
Yeah.
Because if there's no name, then how do they know it's a man? And so I kind of get a sixth sense of pleasure out of that paradoxical hit. But I don't reference that they haven't put a name. I frame it as an intent.
Yeah.
So I get the impression this person would rather stay anonymous. Would you agree with that? And by the fact there's no name, they do agree. And now I can say, before I answer this question, I've got a question for this person. What makes you think that I would give such valuable information to someone who calls me a smartass? Can you read out the question? And then she reads out the question and gets a big round of applause. People think it's over. And then I say, I knew this question was going to come up, and I knew that this person wouldn't be satisfied with anything but proof of my abilities. So earlier, when you thought you were guessing how long it would take me to memorise a deck of cards, you were providing me an answer to this very question. And then I revealed a lottery ticket that's been in an envelope visible on the stage. And
That's awesome. Man.
And so they don't see the lottery ticket coming.
Yeah, that's brilliant. That's so good.
Another example of that as well is I do a magic square. At the start, at my opening, I teach somebody how to block a minefield. And then I have them think about a number. I get that number through nefarious means. And throughout the show, I attempt to guess their number. Each time I'm unsuccessful, but I note the guess down on a post-it note. So as we go through the show, after every trick, I have a couple more attempts. Unsuccessful. At the end of my show, when I've said my final words and I start to walk off stage, there's a grid of post-it notes. It's effectively a 4x4 grid, but with 2 missing. And as I start to walk off, I say, do you know what, I didn't get your number, did I? I hate leaving things unfinished. Let me get a couple more tries. I have 2 more tries, put them up. And then I say, no, you did it, you successfully blocked me. Just out of interest, what was your number? And he says, 56. And I say, you don't see that up there? Which, funny enough, gets far more of a laugh than it actually deserves. But and I don't understand why it gets a laugh. But regardless of that, I then reveal that this is a magic square. And then awesome. I say, thank you very much. Good night.
That's great.
And,
that's so good.
And so it's just surprised them. It's introduce, wherever possible, introduce the element of surprise.
Yeah.
And sometimes that can be as simple as the magician goes wrong. I think it's gone wrong, and then
I love that. We were talking about that on the show the other day. That I love it when we make it look like something's gone wrong, and the audience are like, "Oh, it's going wrong! It's going wrong! What's he going to do? What's he going to do?" And then you snap it round and boom.
And I love that. Another great example of it is in one of Darren's shows. He kind of has this running gag with the phone number, where he does the kind of scouse psychic. Yeah. And where he sort of goes, is your number 07? Oh no, she's gone. And then at the end, the final reveal is that phone number. And again, people just didn't see it coming.
No.
So,
and he waits right until the very end after everything's done. He's taken a bow and then he goes, oh, wait a second. Yeah, it's amazing.
So those are there's a lot more to it. And if you read the Build an App chapter, it will give you a lot more detail about nesting effects and about act structure. But those are the fundamentals, and the absolute most important is the first one, make them like you.
Yeah.
If you get that right, you can get all the others wrong and still be successful.
That's good.
If you get that one wrong, you can smash the others and still die on your
Be a
arse.
nice guy and I'll be alright. That's
It
the
is,
best
yeah.
advice I've had in this whole thing. Just be a nice guy and you'll be alright.
Yeah, in fact,
Love that.
if I could boil it down to one sentence, it's don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick.
Yeah.
Don't be a dick. This is why you struggle.
I've always sucked at performing, and now I know why.
And this is why Gray is so polarising, because it's that one
Because
bit.
he's a bellend. Is that what you're saying? That's what you're saying.
Yep. Of course, I don't give a fuck.
Because he read, make them hate you.
Hey, whether they love me or hate me, they're talking about me.
Absolutely.
This is true. This is true. They never stop.
And just for the record, for all those polarised people, Craig is actually a really lovely guy. And,
Don't tell him that.
But yeah, we did.
I've got a reputation, Mark.
Yeah, don't
You know.
tell him. Don't tell people he's actually nice.
But unfortunately, the more successful you are, the more people hate you.
That's why everyone loves you, Matt.
Which
Yeah,
is,
it's because I suck.
which is my issue, is I don't appear to be hated enough. And it's because I've never fucking achieved a thing.
I'll give you some lessons on it, Matt. You know what? Everyone's coming back
Yeah,
in,
coming
and
back in.
Ryland's
Mark,
on the
thank you
stand
so
on his
much.
own.
I know, right? Scary, right?
Yeah.
Thanks so much, Mark. I really appreciate it. Everyone go and buy Mark's book. It's awesome.
It really is.
Thanks so much, dude. I really appreciate it.
Mark Chandaue, the legend.
The legend. Ow, I'm stuck.
Matt Cluley,
What am
the
I stuck?
bellend.
I'm stuck on a table.
So that looked like a really inspirational chat that you had there. Yeah. How did that conversation go?
I mean, to be able to sit down with somebody like him and just like that was literally a fraction of the conversation that we had as well. Like
Yeah.
I went outside to get some air as well halfway through the day, and he came out and we stood out there for ages just having a chat and stuff. Like he's so knowledgeable.
Every time I speak to him, it's just such a
It's like
memorable
a little
experience.
personal masterclass.
Yeah.
Every time.
Every single time.
Is amazing. But yeah, I mean the advice that he gives. I went obviously straight to the section about building an act when you get to the book, and it's the advice that's in there. It's basically it's kind of goes against everything that you do because
Excuse me.
because what
Come again.
what he says the way that he advises to do it is to kind of you build your act, you go and perform your act, you then listen to your audience, you tweak, you perform, you listen, you tweak, you perform, you listen. So it's basically just kind of and then repeat steps 4 to 6.
So what's my
Because you don't rehearse
method?
anything, do you? You don't rehearse anything. You don't write anything. You just whatever comes off the top of your
know-
head at the time. And none of your shows. I mean, you've been doing shows for what 30 years. None of them have ever been the same.
No, but you have to admit that one thing I'm really good at is just standing in front of people and just completely ad-libbing stuff.
Bullshitting.
Yeah, ad-libbing. Just like you can call it bullshit, you can call it ad-libbing, but you can literally give me a subject about anything.
I'm not going to.
I could though. You could give me a subject about anything right now, and I could literally,
Bullshit your way through it.
I could give you a 1 minute monologue to camera and make it sound like I know everything about it.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
I could do that.
We're not doing that.
Okay, you don't have to, but I could do that. I could do that.
But yeah, he talks
I could
about
do that.
Yeah, okay, I believe you.
I know I could do that.
I'm aware.
I know.
But he talks about building an act and then performing it, listening to your audience. So it's really important to listen, which I'd never thought about. Like with shows and stuff, with theatre, I guess it's kind of like with comedians and stuff as well. Like a lot of comedians that I've seen live always say that, oh, well, this is really unique to you because nobody laughed, so I'm going to take that out. No one's ever going to hear that again. So that part was just for you guys. It was the shit bit, but it was just for you. And I suppose with magic, you could do the same, don't you? Different lines and stuff that you put in. And, you know, if you put little gags in and stuff, if they work, if they don't work, putting sections in that are supposed to be big wows. If they don't get a big wow, you take them out. And it's just kind of putting the act together, trying it, working it, and then tweaking it accordingly and listening to your audience. So it's not going to be a matter of, oh, let's just put the show together and boom, that's it, that's the show. We've then got to get out and do that show before Blackpool and tweak it and make sure it flows. And he spoke a bit about making sure that the show kind of flows together. It's not just trick, ta-da, trick, ta-da, trick, ta-da. The whole thing's got to flow together in one show. And yeah, he's like an oracle of knowledge. He's got loads of different stuff.
Well, we soon need to have you put together a finished set for your show. like, you need to know what you're doing in there. I know you've got ideas, but you need to take what I want you to do for next week.
Oh God.
No, don't worry, it's nothing difficult, because next week's going to be probably, I don't know, maybe there's a very good chance next week's going to be all about the, you know, the bear trap, world's most dangerous culture. But what I want you to do for next week is I want you to finalise the set list, because we are running out of time. It's February, and we're now getting close to getting into December, which is going to be busy, and you're going to have the ability to maybe practice some of these in some of the shows you're doing over December. So what I want you to do is finish the act. I don't have to have everything scripted, but I want you to know what tricks you're doing. I've suggested loads of things. You know, the phone thing, if you remember, where I was suggesting that you use digital force bag with the music. You know, think about the different, if you're going to go with my idea about telling your life story on stage through magic, think about all the tricks that you're going to do. I need that set list. We need to start working on that. We can't procrastinate any longer, because we need to start rehearsing it. We need to start doing it in front of real people, and we can't do that until you've told me what you're doing. No, seriously, I mean, else you're not giving yourself enough time.
No, you're right.
No, the important thing is that we need to rehearse it. If you know, you've literally got from now 3 months, 1 week.
Yep.
You need to know what the set list is, because you need to start rehearsing and scripting it. So I need that set list by next week. I don't care, get it sorted. The other thing is, Matt's got a few days off next week because he's got annual leave.
Hey, look, I was your sales manager.
Yeah.
Comes in, puts a holiday form down in front of me, and goes, "You've got holiday days, take them." I was like, I haven't really got time to take them. She was like, "Take them. Take the holiday days."
You could have just said, "I don't want the holiday days. I don't need them. Keep them." Could have done that.
Yeah, but if I don't use them by the end of the year, I'll lose them.
That sounds like a Matt problem.
Well, now it's a you problem. Because I've been forced to take holiday days.
This is true. So
I'm
but
not
we're
in
going to
next
use
week.
that to our advantage. So while you're away for a few days, you're going to finish this set list.
Yeah, because
so that we can start scripting and
obviously
rehearsing
I want to
it.
use my holiday days to carry on working.
Don't look at it as work. I don't look at this as work. I don't look at this isn't work. This is you know those people like that do outreach and help, people that are like, needing help. That's what I'm doing with you. You're my outreach project. I'm helping.
I'm your charity.
Yeah, you're my charity.
So complimentary, isn't he?
Anyway, so I want you to put the set list together. The other thing I want you to do, there's a project I want you to watch, and I'm going to give you access to it because I've bought it. I own it. I'm going to give you access to it. It's the best. Okay, have you ever heard of Alexander Marsh?
Yes.
Alex McAleer.
Yes.
One of the best mentalists in the world today. Tours with the illusionists.
Yeah.
You ever heard of a magic company called the 1914?
Rings a bell.
So when Dee and Jack launched the 1914, one of their launch projects was an Alex McAleer, Alexander Marsh product called the Art of Stagecraft, where literally Alex stands in a theatre. They actually hired a theatre to do this. Stands in a theatre and spends 4.5 hours teaching you everything you need to know about performing mentalism on stage. From building the act, to performing the act, to blocking, to choice of everything, to creating your character, everything.
Right, okay.
It's a long one, but I think out of everybody that I think you're most closely like Alexander Marsh. I think that your style is more like him than anyone I've seen. So I think you'd really get a lot out of that. So while you're away this week on your jollies, I want you to put the set list together, and I want you to watch this Art of Stagecraft. I'll give you the link to it, and I want you to watch it, and I want you to, I think it's really going to help you put your thoughts together. Okay. But I'm not being mean. I know we joke around a lot and we take the piss out of each other, but I'm not being mean when I say you've got 3 months, less than 3 months.
Yep, true.
So we need to start the next step, which is rehearsals, scripting, more rehearsals. Because I know you like rehearsing.
I love rehearsing.
Yeah, we can't do that until you tell me what tricks you're doing. I've given you advice. Rich has given you advice. Everybody I know has given you advice. But now you have to make a decision, and I need it by next week. Just before we play with bear traps, okay?
So I could spend my week off sorting this whole thing out, putting my show together, and then I come back in and go, right, I've done it, and then just break my hand.
Yeah, there's a real possibility. Now, the other thing that...
There's not actually a chance that I'm going to hurt myself in this thing, is there?
It's called the world's most dangerous card trick, mate. It's got a warning on the front of the box. Do not buy this. Do not do it. You have to be stupid to do it. You think about it. Anyway, when we were at London, the other thing that I had you do is sit down with Nemed.
Nemed Pops.
And because Nemed's done the bear pit.
He hates me calling him that.
Now, Nem has done the bear pits.
Yeah.
And
he has. I was there with him last year.
And he did it fearlessly.
He didn't. He was fucking terrified. I was with him before we went in. There's no fearlessness there at all. He was shaking.
But he smashed the ever-loving
As soon as you put him in front of the people, absolutely smashed it. Standing outside of the room before we went in for 10 minutes with him, he was shaking like a shitting dog.
Well, he was a giant pile of quivering jelly.
Yes, he was.
Yeah. And Ryland was pissing
But then he
him
smashed
off.
it.
Ryland was pissing him off even more because Ryland was just there playing on his phone.
Playing on his Switch.
Yeah, and not giving two shits. And it was just funny to watch Nem to get more and more annoyed. Anyway, let's play that footage. We didn't have much time for you to chat to Nemed. You chat to Nemed all the time anyway, but not really about this. So you chatted with Nemed a few minutes about the bear pit. Let's have a look at that footage.
Well, the London Magic Convention was a long day. But I've managed to grab him, Mr. Phoenix. And I need to pick your brain, dude.
Is it season 2 already? Is it Nemed, help me with your genius day again?
Yes, it's Nemed, help me with your genius day.
Jesus
you are one of the
Christ,
only
you're
people
needy.
you're one of the only people that I know and can speak to that has done the bear pit.
Yeah, vaguely. I kind of blacked it out.
How the fuck am I going to get through this?
Okay. Don't create an epic 20-minute app because it's 7 minutes and it goes back ridiculously fast.
Does it go ridiculously fast? Because I'm envisioning it being the slowest 7 minutes of my life.
I timed my act again the night before and realised that I need to cut out all of it. I ended up doing like 30% of what I was going to do.
Because I saw you in the bear pit. I saw you before you went in the bear pit, and you are one of the most experienced. You're probably the busiest gigging magician in the country, certainly the busiest gigging magician that I know. And you've had experience of all different scenarios and done stage and close-up and
I've already agreed to do the video.
years.
Right, you don't need to creep.
I'm not creeping, I'm saying that's true. And I saw you before we went into the bear pit, and you were terrified.
Magicians suck. I don't like performing to magicians. Yeah.
So what do I do?
Get through the first one. After the first one, it's easy. Try not to have Ian rolling and staring at you in the first one. It's a real pain in the ass.
I don't think I've got any control over who stares at me.
I'm joking. Just get it done. First one, get it done. It'll probably suck, and then the next 6 will be good. Bearing in mind, I say next 6 because there's 7 tables, and if at the end of it, unlike many people last year, you reach the 7th table and you finish and you haven't done 7 tables, that means you fucked up. You missed 1 or 2, like everybody else.
Right, so don't miss any tables, don't be shit. The first one's going to be crap, and after that I should be alright.
Just do that likeable shit you do, it seems to get you through.
I mean, I can try. So all I've got to do is just go and be likeable for 7 minutes. It doesn't really matter what I do.
Don't be shit, obviously. I mean,
Don't be shit.
Everyone says that the bear pit is like your working set, but they're all lying. Absolutely every single one obviously adds a little bit in there to make it look like they're...
So what if you were me, what would you do?
What I'm saying is don't do 7 minutes with the Stebbins step.
Well, I'm not going to do 7 minutes
You
with
were,
the Stebbins there.
You were.
I won't, because he won't let me.
Try some of that stuff I explained to you. It's part of magic. What's it called again? I'll sleight of hand. Some sort of skill in there, along with all the talky shit that you do.
So do some talky shit, put some skill in with the talky shit, be likeable, don't be shit,
And don't worry if I fuck up the first one.
Got it. I'll make sure you do them all.
Make sure I do them all.
Yeah.
All of those things. If I do all of those things, I'll be fine in the bear pit.
And all of the tables.
Do you regret doing it?
No, great fun. After the terror.
After the terror, when you got in there and you did it, you actually enjoyed it.
Yep.
It was a good experience.
Mm-hmm.
Would you do it again?
Yep.
You would?
Yeah.
I can tell he's lying.
But it was a positive experience, and you don't lose sleep at night over it.
In
You
honest,
smashed it though. You did good. So he did well though, didn't he?
he did really well, yeah.
And also most of the audience in that room are the people that couldn't get into the main lecture at the time anyway.
What I thought was really good about what you did, though, Nem, is you were making a gag right from the very beginning. Your character shone through. You were very funny from the first line because you were always following Ryland. They were always, he was always next to you,
Yeah.
and so you had that funny gag right at the beginning.
That saved me. The island was always to my right. So I pull that Rubik's Cube and go, I'll start with 5 minutes of sleight of hand with the Rubik's Cube. Oh shit. Never mind.
Yeah. But he's not going to be next to me,
No,
so I can't do that.
no. But there'll be some like, normal magician.
What material would you do if you were Matt? Because I've got him thinking about the cups and balls. As you know, he's quite shit at it.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got a few months to get better.
It's been nice, to be fair.
I was trying to teach him some sleight of hand last night. I think, yeah, we need to go very, very basic on that.
I did Gatekeeper, okay.
He did. He does do Gatekeeper well.
See?
Yeah. And then he did all of the chop routine well, except for a simple fake vanish at the end, which apparently just your brain won't allow you to do.
No, that one, I can't do that for some reason. I will because I'll practice that, but I can't.
But I remember your cups and balls looking all right, to be honest.
Okay, that's good.
It's probably too long for the bear pit, but
Right, I gotta go. I've been dragged into the gala show.
good because
Apparently, I'm gonna have my head shaved.
I've run out of stuff to say. And
Brilliant.
There's more than I've said in a year. I really want to just go away, basically, Greg, is what I'm saying.
Well, thank you. I appreciate.
One last piece of advice for Matt.
Don't suck.
Don't suck. Is that it?
Yeah.
He's always so knowledgeable, isn't he, Nem? I do really appreciate it.
Good
though.
advice.
I know he acts like this, but he does genuinely help me out, so I do appreciate it. I really do.
Trying to maintain my.
Oh, yeah,
image.
sorry, you suck. Like, you could have helped. All right. Right, I've got to go because I've got to go and have my head shaved. Apparently. I'll see you later.
So, your conversation with Nemed, did that help? Did you get anything out of that?
I mean, does Nem ever help?
Yeah. He's a really good guy.
Nem's ace. I love Nem to bits. He's a great guy. But yeah, it's basically he's just like, don't be shit. And the things that you do well, do those. The things that you don't do well.
The thing that
don't
he
do those.
said that I think that you need to take to heart is that your superpower, the thing that you're really good at, is you're likable.
He hates that.
No, I was doing a shoot with him for Alakazam, and he said to me, he said, I really hate that Matt's so likable. He's like, he said, I was talking to him the other day, and he was telling me about all these people he was chatting to, and he's like, I've been in this industry for 30 years, I've never spoken to those people once. What the fuck is going on?
We were at a gig the other day, and the woman came over to me afterwards, and as we were leaving, people were going, oh, see you later, Matt, and coming over to me and shaking my hand and going, oh, that was amazing, mate, thanks so much, it was lovely to meet you, blah, blah, blah. And he just looks at me and he just goes, you're such a prick. I'm like, I can't help it.
It also
Like,
annoys...
smile once in a while now,
It
people
also-
will react to you.
It also annoys him that you go to a gig with him doing a 2-person close-up job. He's doing some of the most incredible magic you've ever seen, using sleight of hand techniques that have took him years to master. He's doing it flawlessly, delivering scripts and lines that he spent years creating, designed to build up the best possible reaction from that group that he can. And you go in and get reactions as good after a year with a fucking dice.
He fucking hates it. He says that to me regularly. As soon as he got put on the calendar that me and him were doing a gig together, he was like, oh, fucking hell. He's like, I like you and everything, but it's just depressing. Like walking around and just hearing rounds of applause and people looking over and people are standing up and shaking your hand. And I know what you're doing. And I'm here doing this. And you're over there getting rounds of applause doing that. Oh, he's great. He's so dry. It's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I love Nemed to bits.
Yeah, it's great. So, yeah, but he's right. Be likeable. People like you.
Be likeable.
So
Play to my strengths.
play to your strengths. So,
No skill whatsoever.
no skill
But I
whatsoever.
can perform the crap out of anything.
But that's what we're going to do. We're going to show people that there's another side to you, Matt. We're going to be doing some skill-based stuff. You're going to be doing the cups and balls. You're going to be deep-throating balloons, and people are going to absolutely love it.
Yeah. But the performance may drop off because I'll be actually concentrating on what I'm doing.
And also, I think you should really think about doing that visions. I know we talked about that last week, but seriously, the visions, the Matthew Wright thing, I think that might be something that you can do as well. I think your bear pit act, in my head, unless, I mean, it has to be something you're comfortable with. If there's something you're not comfortable with, we don't do it. I mean, I know that you would rather just stand there for 8 minutes and fiddle with the dice, but
I can't do that in the bear pit. That's ridiculous.
I think that you open with a balloon swallow, then you go into cups and balls, then you go into visions, and you finish. No, sorry, strike that, reverse it. So you open up with the balloon swallow, then you go into visions, then you go into a short cups and balls routine, and then you finish off by putting your life on the line with the world's most dangerous card trick. And I think that'll show that'll allow you
Wait,
to
put my
highlight
life on the line?
Your
It was
career.
just my hand.
Your career, whatever.
Better still be able to ride my bike.
Maybe we could do it another way.
Oh, God.
Instead of the hands, is there something else you can put in the bear pit? In the bear trap?
Don't even go there.
What? What?
I know where you're going. I know what you're trying to do.
What?
No.
What?
No.
I'm doing anything.
No.
I'm trying to think of a way.
Bad Craig. Stop. Bad Craig.
I think we need to make
Bad.
it.
Stop.
But if we made it more,
Nah. Don't make me call your wife.
if we made it more unique to you, that would be better. Something that nobody else has done with the world's most dangerous card trick.
I could put your hand in it.
Nah, that wouldn't be as funny.
It would.
I've got ideas.
Because I'd make sure it went wrong.
Brilliant. So, you got your homework. You know what you're doing. You've got your advice from Mark Chandaue. You've got your advice from Nemed. For next week, where we will be playing with bear traps, very possibly. Next week, you're going to be putting your set list together. Seriously, that's important. And you need to think about the stuff that you're doing in the bear pit. If there's something you don't want to do, let me know. Other than the bear trap.
Bear pit.
That's happening.
The entire thing. I'm kind of looking forward to it, but also fucking terrified.
Oh, and then, on top of all this, you've got to learn all of my tricks for the dealer stand.
And I've got to learn all of your tricks for the dealer stand. And are we allowed to?
Not yet, no.
Okay, but we've got to do that as well.
Well, that's good. That's taking you a lot of time and effort.
That's a lot of time and a lot of effort that doesn't benefit me in any way, shape,
Well,
or form.
actually, it does, because that on your CV is incredible.
So, but we've got that to do as well that we can't mention yet. And the show, and the bear pit, and learn every trick that you've ever released to demo on the stand.
It's a lot.
And there's other stuff at the moment that I'm trying to learn as well, for other reasons, which I can't say anything about yet. But there's other stuff. So my time is limit. You don't even know about that.
Don't I?
Nope.
Fair enough.
I'll tell you when that's gone off. But yeah, so
Sorry, no,
What?
carry on. I'm just listening. Go
what's
on.
the matter with
Nothing.
you?
No, I'm fine. I'm just. I'm listening to you talk. Oh, sorry. I'm just put that way. I'm listening to you talk. Carry on.
I forgot what I was saying now.
You were saying I'm amazing.
No, I wasn't.
I'm pretty sure that was where you were going with all
No,
this.
I wasn't.
You know, I've got this to do. I've got this to do. This is
Lots of
overwhelming.
stuff.
But the fact that I get to have you as a mentor, it makes it all worthwhile. Craig, I worship the ground you walk on. Literally, if I could spend the entire day throwing roses on the floor as you walk past me, I would, because oh my God, you are a man amongst men. You are the man, the myth, the legend. You are a god. You're the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be. There is no person on the planet that comes close to touching how incredible you are at everything you do. You were just about to get onto that bit.
You can cut that, right? Nobody wants to hear that. You can cut that out, yeah? What you should do at that point is just cut the sound. You just hear him doing this.
Right.
Just cut the sound out of it completely. You should do that.
Bearing in mind...
Just put some music on the back.
Bearing in mind I pay your wages, Michael, what I'd like to have right now is a cut for a
that
couple
out.
of seconds, and I'd like a quick video, maybe about 10-15 seconds long, of Matt in Christmas trousers dancing to the Chihuahua in a car park with Rach. Let's put that on right now, shall we? I'm just going to assume that happened. It was right there. Chihuahua, 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 wah, wah, Chihuahua.
What
I
if
come
it
in every
wasn't
single day.
there?
He put it on. He put the Chihuahua up as a short.
I'm aware
And
of it.
every day he's like, "Oh, the shorts on the YouTube short shelf again. It's had an extra 1,000 views." I'm like, "Thank you, God."
What if he didn't put that video up and I managed to coerce him into putting a different one up?
No.
Matt knows I'd never miss an opportunity to share the Chihuahua.
True.
Right, we're going to wrap this up. You've got a lot of homework. You've got a few days off to do it. Rest, relax, put your show together.
Rest, relax, do an entire fucking show.
Yeah.
You were going to put those three things in the same sentence.
Rest, relax, put your show together. Get your act together.
The only way that I can rest and relax is to go and ride my motorbike, and it's fucking raining, and I can't ride my motorbike and put a show together. So
Yes, you can. You can be like,
who rides like that?
you.
That's the steering wheel. Motorbikes have handlebars.
Oh.
There we go.
And you're thinking about the show at the same time. Simple. We'll be back next week with another gripping episode of the Matt-umentary. Thanks once again for joining us and continuing to watch this shit. I'm Craig.
Yes, you are.
You're Matt.
I am.
He's Matt. We'll see you again next week on the Matt-umentary. Bye, everyone. Say bye.